Hello everybody, I'm Jim the Hippie Redneck Geek, and this is part two of our rebuilding the deck. So today we're starting off here. We're going to try to straighten up here this add-on here to the deck here we started on here, where we moved everything off onto. We're going to try to straighten it up, so get it squared up with the new deck that the old deck that we're rebuilding here. So we got a problem here a little bit here in that this very last board was not secured in the right places, not on the end here this year, and it's not squared up. So first we got to do is remove the screws off the end of the boards. So that's what we're going to do first.
So we have to remove these screws here off the end here that are just off the new deck that are screwed into the joist here, and so we can move this joist here. So I have to get him to work on getting those screws out, and once he gets them out of there, then he's got to come down underneath here, and these hangers or whatever they are, I think they're called hurricane ties or something there that I'm using to tie the joist to those, whatever those are, whatever you would call those. So we got to do that there.
Okay, we finally got the other pieces, the other deck tied to this here all together. Unfortunately, I didn't get any filming of it. But now we're about ready to put on the deck joists, the joist tape here on these joists here.
So after we get the deck joists and everything moved into place, we've got to use some clamps here to help pull it over and get it pulled tight so that it's so we can tie the two joists together. So after we get the joists together, we've also got to get underneath of those boards there, so we can put new deck tape down that's going to cross over both of those joists there. So we have to use these long clamps here. We're just using the bar part of the clamps here, these bar clamps, just so we can use something to get underneath of the decking, so that we can get it spaced up enough that we can get tape down underneath the ends of the decking there, where we're wanting to put tape over both of the joists there. It takes a little bit of work here to get them up there. We've got to get back several rows of what do you call it, of screws there on it. So we finally get it so the ends are up in the air, that we can get joist tape there to lay down and get it underneath the ends of those deck boards. And once we get this here going here, we move on and do the rest of the joists, all the joist tape here on the deck. So he starts off with one roll of tape over there, working on those joists. I start with another roll of tape. I got to cut it. I got to run over there and cut it for him. I can start with another roll of tape here and do these first two joists here that I can reach immediately, and then back over there, cut it for him. Now I start helping him after I come back over for something. I went back over to get the roll of tape or something. I don't know. I have no idea what I went to do. But I come back here, and we're able to lay down the tape here pretty quick, like. And I think, if I'm not mistaken here, I have just enough tape left over for the other half of the joist here that I've got to do. But it's this stuff is got back in on it, so we've got joist tape back in all over the place. And Nick comes out the next day and cleans up all the trash and everything, and that got left out here this day here. This ducking underneath these joists and everything from my back. My back starts complaining pretty bad. It says, "Oh boy, this is hell." For those of you who don't know, I broke my back 37 years ago. A compression fracture of L1, and I've had back problems ever since. And my weight doesn't exactly help matters none, but it makes it hard for me to bend over and do that stuff. But I do it anyway. So we get out here the next day. He's brought several of the decking boards up here, and we're trying to get them in place, trying to get the best, the straightest boards in place first here, so that we don't have to do too much trying to get them bowed, unbowed and stuff like that. Even though they are still stacked and everything, they still bow out in this heat, out in this weather here. They still do bow a bit because they're not strapped together; they're just stacked. So we're working on getting it in place here. We've removed several of the shorter deck boards over on the new deck, so that this here ties in together, so it's all like it's one long complete deck and not two separate decks that are built separately. So we get it in place. Nick's putting screws down, doing runs as we're going down here. This is on quite a few minutes here of him screwing decking down. So I'm going to see if I can find some music here to play while this is going on, because there's nothing for me to talk about other than us getting these deck boards in place and him screwing it down. Every so often get out the string here and make sure we're running these decks in a straight line so that we don't have any issues going forward.
Okay, so we've got to do some work underneath here. We've got to put in another brace underneath here, because this is this area right here from this joist here all the way over to this joist here and back 8 foot is coming out of here, because that's where the hot tub is going to go. So we've got to put in some more support back here, and then we'll build the pad for the hot tub. We're going to cut all this out here and then put the hot tub there. Okay, so we have gotten all the bracing done up underneath here that we need to do, so we can cut out this section here where the hot tub's going to go. Unfortunately, we didn't get any video of us putting that bracing up in there because we were kind of in the way where being able to get any cameras so they can be set up, which is going to work, and it was quite tight up underneath there. So I'm going to start cutting these joists right here, back here at the 8 foot mark here, or close, right close to the 8 foot mark here. So that's what we're doing next.
So I start off here at the top here because ducking underneath there makes it really difficult for me, and I just don't fit in between the joists here. So I got to cut out a couple of the joists here first and get them out of my way so I can fit down in there. So get these two out of the way here. Then I just drop down into place and finish cutting out these 5 or 6 joists, five joists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So there's 5 joists here. So that's 94.5 inches in between the 2 joists there. The hot tub is 92 inches wide. So this gives us a little bit of room in there. That's going to go and we're cut back to like right at 93, 94 inches. We're also cut back to here at the deck.
Okay, so now we've got this cut out here where the hot tub's going to go. We're going to put right here. We got to put down a block here and another one right here, so we can put a 4x4 post down here. And then we're going to move these here too, right here. We got to move them over this way, about 1.5 foot, get them lined up into where they're supposed to go. So we're going to put, this is so that we can have a place to put the hot tub. So once these blocks are in place, the 4x4s up there supporting, we're going to have 2x8s going across, two rows of 2x8s going across there. Those are 4 foot apart. Yeah, 4 foot apart. And so we'll have 2 foot of overhang that way, 2 foot of overhang that way, 2 foot of overhang this way. Because it's not quite 8 foot hot tub, so we're going to be just shy of 8 foot. So we'll have a little bit of overhang. So we're going to use what we cut off those. The joists that we cut off here are going to go down there and be used so we can build the platform for the hot tub. So the hot tub, the lip of the hot tub is at 34 inches. So we got to be 34 inches below the deck here. So we're going to start here and measure down 34 inches from the bottom of the 2x8 joist here. And we're going to basically build down starting there. So 34 inches down. So we'll build a platform that is exactly 34 inches below the deck itself, and that'd be where the hot tub goes. So we've first got to get these blocks in place here. We got to get them about where we want them, and then we're going to got to scrape the cut, use the shovel and dig out so they're flat, and then we'll put in 4x4s there.
So Nick starts out down here. I'm trying to guide him from up here. Then I says, well, I can't do it from up here, so I go down there to try to guide him and get to one place. So we'll get the first one in place here, and then I cut the old 4x4 that was there before, and so cut it out. Go to put it in place here, and we have to lift it up a little bit because it coming in an angle, it just doesn't fit in there, but it dropped right down into place, so it fit perfectly. So we get the next block in place, get a piece of bracing out of the way, get the next block in place there, and I go and start doing it because I can do it a lot quicker. We get it measured out. Get him to measure it for me, And I cut the next block here. And one of the things we realized when we do this here, there's not enough room to go 34 inches down and use 2x8, so we use 2x6s at the part closest to the house, because there's not quite 34 inches down. We could have raised the hot tub up a little bit higher than that, and had it sticking up a little bit. But I didn't. I want it down as low as possible in the deck, so we went for this method here. Now, to be down 34 inches, I want the overhang on the deck to be literally right at the top of the decking here. So I want there to be very, very little gap there at all if possible. If a 16th of an inch is be perfect for me. So that's what I'm going for. So now we're putting in these 2x6s here. From side to side. So we start off and make sure that we're 34 inches down from the top. Make sure we're level. We're off by like a 16th of an inch over the 8-foot span, and we're getting it in place. And once we get it in place where we want it, we make sure that we are actually at 34 inches. We've got like 34 and a 32nd difference here, so we'll have a little bit of playroom we're going to be working with here. But so we go get another 2x6 to put in place here. These are some 2x6s that I had laying around from another project, or maybe left over from the add-on here that we didn't use. I don't remember, but there were some 2x6s we had laying over that we had a couple of screws in them for some reason. So we just went and got them. These are 12 foot or 6 by, and we had to cut off like 1.5 foot of them. So get them in place, get it in place here, and get this in here. Make sure it's level and get it in place. And then we can go and get some 2x8s to put in place over on the other across the other blocks here, and put those in place. So we're going to go get that. We have to actually go. We're actually using some of the 2x8s that we pulled off the old deck that were still good, and there we go. We got them in place. Apparently, we didn't film them bringing them over, but we got them in place. We got them over here. We got them cutting them into to length, so we can put them in place here. Apparently, I'm having a little trouble with cutting that one there a little bit, but we get these in place, and oh, he had to go get a screw, get the screw gun. He went off and left it or something over at the other place, over at the other area over there where we were working. So we now get this in place here, and get it in place, and then we make sure it's level. Double check. Yeah, looks level, and yeah, it's looking level, but it's a little bit off. But I'm trying to explain to him why we're doing it the way we're doing it. We get the other one in here, and we got just a little bit of adjustment we end up having to do. So right now we're only putting like a single screw in here temporarily here before we do this here. I'm going to put these in with some bolts. I got to go to the hardware store, and I got to get some 8-inch bolts. So I can drill through there. Put two 8-inch bolts in here to hold these in place. I need to get some carriage bolts. Probably going to get some carriage bolts, some 8-inch carriage bolts to hold this in place. Right now we're just holding it with screws, and then we have to go cut some 4x4 blocks to go into there to support the center, and then that's where we end for today. There's a little short bit here at the end. It's doing some explaining.
Okay, so this is the end of part 2 of the rebuilding the deck. So what we've done here, if you think before, is what we've been doing here, working on down here, is Let me get down over here so I can get past this here show. So we got this here little place, this area right here. We got a set of 2x6s going from there to there, and then we got 2x8s going from here to here. So basically what we're building here is a lower deck here. We're building this deck identical to this up here, so that whenever we set the hot tub on it, it will be recessed in it exactly. So it's exactly 34 inches. It'll be exactly 34 inches down, which is exactly the lip. The top edge of the lip is exactly 34 inches. Now I'll probably have to do a little bit of leveling once it gets in here, but so this is what's going to be here. We're going to take all these joists that we cut from here. Those are actually going to go down here, fit down here perfectly, so that I don't have to do anything more. And then we're going to, the decking that was going to go up here in this part is actually going to go down here for the hot tub to sit on. So this is where the hot tub's going to go. But I have to get rid of that stump right there and stump over there so I can get my tractor in here with the forklifts to get the hot tub in here. So those are going to happen. Hopefully next week we'll get the stumps out of here. I want to try anyway. So hope you enjoyed watching us on part 2 here of the deck rebuild. Part 3 will be starting back on this here right here, getting this ready, and then finishing up that over there. We got everything here now. We've got the first 4.5 foot ran from that end all the way to that end. 44 foot long, 4.5 foot depth. So we have working area. So we got out to 8 foot of joists there are available. We're going to start working on this part here because I got to do a lot of stuff here as well for the AC unit here. So I've got to put in a new box here for the AC unit here. Because I've got a 100 amp box going to come in here, so for the AC unit and for the hot tub and for electrical outlets back here. So that's where we're going with this here. So click subscribe, click the notify bell if you want to see more of this here. We will be finishing this here hopefully up in the next couple of weeks. At least the decking. The railing is going to be a little bit different, but we shall see. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.